This is 2018's Deadtectives. Warning, spoilers and mature themes ahead. We open up to Sam as he records his ghost hunting show, and he talks back and forth with Javier about a huge ghost presence they sense down the hallway in the cupcake shop. He calls out to the ghost, and the door bursts open as a spirit seemingly passes right through him. In the nearby room, Kate rolls her eyes as she records all of the footage from each camera. Sam and the others continue hunting the ghost, and the demonic voice can be heard coming from the stove now. Sam cues a ghost attack, but Floyd changed the script to have a single book fly off the shelf when he pushes the button. Sam breaks character for a moment to talk to Floyd about sticking to the script. Sam reminds him of what he wants in his show, and Floyd tells him that the book haunting is more authentic to confirmed cases. Kate hates watching Ethel as she thinks that her cupcake shop is going to get cured, and she pops out to tell the guys that they need to tell the truth for once. Sam pulls her aside, and he kisses her aggressively as they talk about the caterer for the wedding. Kate pulls Sam back to the topic at hand, and she tells him that he needs to do this one right, so that she can believe that there's still some good in him. Sam has a point though. The more a place seems haunted, the better the ratings. Debunking shows were great back when Mythbusters was still good, but since then, that kind of show has gone downhill for sure. I want the tortured ghost from the 1800s. Sam goes back to film the end of their episode, and he sits down with Ethel to go over what she thinks is haunting her shop. Sam starts to tell her the truth, but when he notices some clues he can use to create a story, he does just that. He blames Ethel for stealing her grandmother's cupcake recipe, and after Ethel swears to stop stealing the recipe, Sam declares the cupcake shop is cured. Later on, Sam and the crew go to meet with the producer, Conrad, and he tells them that their show is being canceled. Conrad tells Sam that he's bringing in Abril to cook up a spicy finale in a real haunted house in Mexico, and Sam finds out that Kate is leaving the team. Well, that feels dirty. What's even better is that Bob, the effects guy, gives a show that's better than half the horror movies I've seen. Every movie needs this Bob. Sam agrees to these new additions so long as his team sticks with him through the finale, and next thing we know, they're on a plane and bus to a small town in Mexico. Once they arrive, the realtor gives them a history of the house that includes a lot of sacrifices and dead people, and Floyd is excited about the idea of real ghosts. The realtor's husband hasn't been the same since he stepped inside that house, and she refuses to go inside with them. Sam promises to take the evil from the house for them, but the husband creeps him out by warning him not to look into the face of death. Yep, that would probably do the trick for me too. If I'm already being cancelled, why would I risk everything for a season finale? Nah, just stay at home. The crew heads inside to set up cameras, and Floyd shows Kate his new ghost detecting goggles. Then Sam pops in to show them the new script, and he sends Floyd to go check on Bob. When Floyd finds Bob, he's slumped over his chair with a pill bottle full of miscellaneous medications. Bob thinks that Floyd's there to steal his drugs, and he warns Floyd that he needs to be ready for the big show. That night, Sam and the others start filming their scenes, and Sam calls out to the spirits in the house. Some of Bob's effects go off to add suspense, but when extra effects go off, the crew get a little concerned about the realism. Floyd ends up going into the basement, and he freaks himself out by a sheet draped over furniture. Can't blame him though. In that kind of house, anything would probably be enough for me to think that something was going on. Why even risk coming here? Also, never go into the basement. That's like rule number 1. Sam continues through the house. At first, he pretends to sense souls all around him. But suddenly, he gets a real sensation. It turns out to be Bob going to the bathroom, and Sam goes back to his scene. This time, he hears the laughter of a child coming from a nearby room. Why is it that a child's laughter can either be the best thing you'll ever hear or the most terrifying? Sam calls to Kate about what's going wrong with the script, and Abril tells him that she's running things now. She makes the crew go radio silent, and Kate pops up to tell Sam that she's not going to exploit anyone with him anymore. Suddenly, an old child's ball rolls out, and Kate tosses it back to the room while they go talk about why they do things the way they do. When it rolls out again, Sam and Kate go to check the room, but someone is on the other side holding it. Finally, they barge in, and they find the room completely empty. Sam looks around the room to find the source, but when the same ball rolls out to him, all he finds is a key under the bed. Meanwhile, Floyd continues his search in the basement, and he finds a button on the floor that he presses. Floyd thinks that it's just an effect, but the walls start to bleed as he pushes the button. I can't tell if it's real or not, but either way, I want that wall in my basement. When Floyd goes to leave, he hears whispers calling to him from the darkness, and he records it on his tape recorder. When he plays it back, he hears the voice tell him that someone's going to die, and the ghost writes a message in blood on the wall that says all of them will die. Back upstairs, Javier downs a bunch of ghosts' alcohol, and he hops out of the bed when he hears a thud in the hallway. When he looks in the mirror, he sees the face of one of the violent ghosts, and he thinks that it's a fantastic effect. Floyd rushes to the main hallway to find the others, but he ends up finding another ghost in the parlor. Finally, everyone meets in the main hall, and Floyd tells them that he saw a real ghost. They honestly have no idea which of these effects are from Bob, but I feel like effects can only do so much. It's not like they're seeing these on a screen after an effects team tampers with it. They're literally living it. There's no questioning it. When the group goes to check on Bob, they find him dead in the kitchen, and Floyd immediately starts to smash mirrors since he thinks it's the gateway to the dead in the house. When Kate tries to call the police, a ghost screeches in her ear, and she thinks that it's time to leave. Sam and Javier believe that they need to finish this finale, but Javier is too caught up in still thinking this is all fake. Kate tries to convince Sam to make the right choice and leave, but when he chooses to finish the episode, she gives him her ring back and tries to leave. The ghosts aren't having it though, and they slam the door shut and turn off the power before messing with them even more. Javier doesn't believe any of this still, and he goes up the main stairs to prove that nothing's wrong. I know Javier's making fun of a potentially dangerous thing, but watching him do that weird twerk right before the ghost kills him, priceless. He's definitely dead now though, there's no coming back for him. What makes it worse is the fact that he's not just dead, the ghosts start tossing him around. When Sam and the others try to run out the front door, the spirits make it so that they're trapped in a continuous loop of doors and windows. Needless to say, they finally believe that what they're dealing with is somehow real. Now that they know this is real, Kate turns to Floyd to see what he knows, and his focus is to keep away from their reflections. The house makes that very hard to do, and Javier comes back as a ghost. As he walks around, he eventually spots his own dead body, and the other ghosts make their presence known. In fact, he runs into Bob's ghost in the kitchen, and he watches as he crosses over to the other side. When he runs back to the main hallway to try and warn Sam and the others, he ends up scaring them off since they just sense a ghostly presence. Javier then has the great idea to use one of the statue busts to try and warn them, but for some reason he chucks it at them. Yeah, that's not how you handle that. They end up barricading themselves in the attic, and I can't help but wonder why Javier's ghost can't go through the door. What's the point of being a ghost if you still have to abide by physical rules? Javier gets warned by two of the ghost kids that they have to keep quiet, otherwise the angry ghosts will wake up. Meanwhile, Sam and the others find a creepy old chest in the attic, and they use the old key that they found to see what's inside. Inside are children's drawings of the ghosts that inhabit the house, but they're interrupted when they spot the big bad ghost boss in the nearby mirror. They quickly smash the mirror and run outside, but they're greeted by Javier's dead body hovering towards them. After viciously attacking it, Javier decides to drop his body, and he uses his own blood to write them a message. What a fantastic way to convey a message! Blood! At least Kate's smart enough to have Floyd put on his glasses to see Javier's ghost. Javier immediately makes it known that he's not happy with his predicament, but all Floyd cares about is the fact that he's right. Floyd's glasses overheat, and they try to come up with a way to know where Javier is so he can lead them to a possible exit. Javier's my spirit. Does that make sense? His grand idea is to grab Kate's jacket and give her a little nice squeeze. Even she was mad that she didn't see that coming. Javier leads them through the house, but to do so, they throw a white sheet over him to make him look like a child's ghost. Javier goes around the house looking for the little kid ghosts, but when they find him, the kids seem like they're hiding from something or someone. The kids get worried when the group gets angry with each other, but Kate steps up to try and communicate with them. The kids say that the group has to leave so the man doesn't show up and take them away, and they tell Kate that they aren't allowed to play a game with her. Kate rolls them the ball, and she tells them that if the answer to her question is yes, all they have to do is roll the ball to her. I'm sorry, the kids say that they aren't allowed to play a game. And this definitely sounds like the definition of a game. Kate's over here going to get a couple of kids re-murdered over a game of roll the ball. First, Kate asks if the drawings in the chest are theirs, and they roll the ball back. Next, she asks if the bad man in the drawings is the one that killed everyone. They roll the ball again. Next, she asks if he'll let them leave the house, but this time, they don't roll the ball back. Then, Sam asks if there's a way to stop the bad man, and they roll the ball back this time. Sam gets excited by this, but soon, the children's mother shows up and tells them to leave her children alone. The kids try to save them from their mother, but it takes Sam to negotiate with the mother before they get some answers. She mentions that she fought back because of him vowing to exorcise the house, and Sam realizes how bad he looks to the ghosts right about now. Sam tries to reassure her that he didn't mean it, and he just needs her help to save his family. Then, she runs off. When a ghost runs away from another ghost, it might just be time to give up. Plus, this ghost is walking around like Farmer Bob. Nope, this is where we all die. Naturally, the group makes a run for it, and Floyd accidentally falls into the button on Bob's switchboard that's labeled Mayhem. Suddenly, all of Bob's effects start going off, and they can't tell what's the ghost and what's the effects. Eventually, Javier gets in on a fight, and he fends off the ghost with a candelabra. The ghost decides to retreat, and he goes into the control room where April is watching everything go down on the monitors. It doesn't take long before Farmer Ghost kills April, and Javier makes his way inside the control room. He finds her ghost sitting in a ball, and Javier reminds her that the farmer can't kill them again. April gets up to face him, but the farmer uses his sickle to decimate her soul. Now Javier is scared too. Sam and Kate hide under one of the beds in the other room, and she starts to apologize for telling him that she wants to leave the show. Then, Sam admits that his and Floyd's parents aren't actually dead, and they're just abandoned. Suddenly, the bed gets flipped, and Kate gets locked out of the room. At the same time, Floyd busts the door down in the other room, and they get inside to find Sam being choked by a ghost. This turns out to be an epic showdown. Then, Sam and Floyd manage to make it out of the house, but Kate gets caught. I'm all for love, but there might be a time to call it quits, and this would be it. After finding out that ghosts can kill other ghosts, Sam decides to talk Javier into helping them, and they head back inside. Once inside, the ghost kids tell them that Kate is being held in the basement, and the group heads down. Once down there, they find Kate is possessed, and they try to recruit the help of the ghost mother and kids to fight the farmer ghost inside of Kate. Eventually, Floyd tells Sam that there's no other choice than to kill Kate, but Sam thinks he can still save her. Sam does manage to speak with Kate, and she's able to expel the ghost after a little more help from Sam. He ends up making out with her, but that's only after she vomits green puke on him. Why do all possession movies have green vomit? Also, how did this movie manage to pull off some Disney fairy tale kiss saves all moment? Once Farmer Ghost gets out, Mother Ghost tells him that the time of terror is up. Mother Ghost tells him that his time of terror is up. It comes down to Javier though, as he takes a pitchfork to stab the farmer. He doesn't get to, of course, but the Mother Ghost picks it up and finishes the job. Now all of the crew have their moment of happiness and peace. And in the morning, they take a relieving breath of fresh air as they step out of the house. Javier also gets his moment to go into the light, but it turns out not to be for him. It's actually for the mother and children ghosts as they finally get their moment of peace. 1 year later, we get a glimpse at the new revamped show, and it's a raging success. They're actually using Javier as their ghost scout now to make sure that they're dealing with the real thing. I've gotta say though, a haunted sushi restaurant? That's right up my alley. I'd take that haunting. Then the credits roll. They definitely don't make dark comedies like they used to, but this one was a fun one to be sure. Give it a shot. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this one. Comment what you think I should watch next, and I'll see you in the next video.